I am for truth, no matter who tells it. I am for justice, no matter who it's for or against. When I was 4 years old, I quite literally thought that I had been born into the wrong reality, that this is a complete madhouse, and I wanted to know why. I wanted to know how it got that way. And I wanted to know who I was and what I was doing in this realm. These are the questions that got me started on this quest when I was very, very young. And the older I got, and the more I looked at the world and looked at the society that we live in, the more profound the questions became. You know, I saw that the world was all messed up from a very, very early age, and I always wanted to know why. And I spent most of my life trying to figure out what has happened to interfere with the human experience to the extent that we have created the societies that we've created. What happened to lead us to this point? How did we ever become so divided from each other and so divorced from the earth that we live on? Are people prepared to look deep enough within themselves to actually see that? You know, divide and conquer is the motto. Play the nations off against each other. Shout down and attack and belittle anyone who attempts to stand in the way of that or heal these divisions. You see, the real problem that we have in the world today, one of our big problems, is that people very often don't think for themselves, and the thoughts that they have are not their own. And sometimes they never pause to ask the question, where do these thoughts come from? Do they come through your own human interaction with other human beings? Or is it simply a program? When you're forced to feel guilty, you feel disempowered. You allow people to do things to you because you feel guilty. Oh, you're a sinner. You must allow yourself to be punished because you've done the wrong thing, even though you didn't do anything. That is the purpose of forcing a collective guilt on people, is to disempower them, to prevent them from ever standing up for themselves and addressing the situation that they find themselves in. They will allow themselves to be destroyed because they feel that it's just that they should be. Everything is different to what we're told, folks, and it's this collective guilt. What's it there for? Who put it there? What is its purpose? Apparently there's a lot of people who have a real stake in the outcome of wanting to be the people who did it first. Whatever that means for them, I don't really know, but I really think it's counterproductive, and what we need to do is put everything aside and find out what the truth is, and stop allowing ourselves to be played off against each other. Now, divide and conquer is the motto, and everything is a play. And it's really important that people factor that in, and when they think they've found the answer and they've locked themselves into a belief system, to step back a little bit more and consider that there may just possibly be a bigger picture that they're not seeing. Now we realize how much we've been lied to. Now we realize what a farce this whole system is. Now we realize how wrong our history is, just how much has been stolen from us. It doesn't matter who did it. What matters is what we do to get back to what we should be, because once we get back to that point, I'm sure who did it will become very apparent. You know, I'm not saying that we don't want to find the culprits. I'm not saying that there aren't people to blame. I'm just saying that constantly looking for someone to point the finger at doesn't achieve anything. What will achieve something is walking to freedom. Then we'll have plenty of people we can point the finger at. They'll be the ones that are left behind screaming for us to come back and do what we're told. But at the moment, we have to stop fighting with each other and put all this stuff down and realize that nobody has a clue what happened in the past. And if we can all work together, put our belief systems aside and stop wanting to be correct, stop wanting to be the one, stop thinking that race or any of this stuff has anything to do with it. It doesn't matter who came first. What matters is the situation that we're in and how to extricate ourselves from this situation. And with all the solutions that people are looking for, they're just not seeing that the solution is themselves. The solution is to put all of this stuff down, to stop fighting with each other, to stop arguing with each other, and to let's all research and look and see what the bigger picture is, and put all of our personal beliefs and our personal prejudices aside. We don't need any of them. They're all constructs. They're all put there just to keep us fighting, just to keep us squabbling, and none of them lead anywhere. And we're at a really important time now, ladies and gentlemen. We are. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much being rolled out right at our feet, the control grid, everything they're doing, the smart grid, and they're bringing this out because they're freaking out, because so many people are waking up. A lot of people I know are feeling this way. People that you wouldn't even think, just realizing that something's wrong. People, just everyday people in shops just saying, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. This is ridiculous. Why are we doing all this? people are having these thoughts, and that's what the government is freaking out about, because people have had enough. And it's growing, and it's growing all around the world, ladies and gentlemen. So don't think there isn't an awakening happening. I mean, it may not be a full awakening, but it's certainly an awakening of sorts. At least it is an awakening to the fact that we don't need to do this anymore. And that's a good thing, and it could lead to something. But unless we are prepared to put down all this fighting and realize that none of this division is getting us anywhere, and having beliefs about anything doesn't help anything at the moment because none of us really know, then we're not going to make a difference at a time when we could. And it's important that we put it all down and get some focus and make some difference, folks. And all we got to do, like I keep saying, is just unite with each other. As I keep saying, divide and conquer is the motto, and all you do by supporting these paradigms is support this government system. One of the things that people seem to find most offensive about what I've been saying is the mere concept that we ever lived in a peaceful society. Many people just seem to find the mere concept of peace between races to be utterly repulsive, and something they just seem to get violently angry about. What is that? Why would you get violently angry about peace? Like I said, some people just seem to want to hate. And even if we were to suddenly fall into some sort of peaceful society, let's say we were to all overthrow the governments now and all shift into a Vedic culture, there'd still be sections of that society who would want to blame the others for what had happened prior to coming into that new perfect society. Whatever positive scenario you can try to discover or present to people, there seems to be this emotional residue that they just refuse to let go of. You know, that's the thing, we're at such a turning point in the human experience, and it's such an inspiring time and such a positive time, and a time that we could make real change. And the only thing that is holding us back from doing this and actually stepping into our power is all of this division. And it's like this in so many things that people are researching on the internet, in so many rabbit holes they're going down. They get locked into this focus, and they simply won't look at a bigger picture. They won't even consider a bigger picture. And it's always looking for blame in someone around them. What's wrong with loving each other? What's wrong with realizing that we have all been played? And it doesn't matter who lives in what country. It doesn't matter what race anybody belongs to. It doesn't matter what country we originally came from. It doesn't matter what we think our history may be. What matters is finding out the truth, and the only way we're going to do that is to realize what the tools are that have been used against us, and the biggest tool is division. It is the greatest tool the system can use against the people, the most effective tool that is used against the people, and it is the most constant tool that is used against the people. And all you have to do is look at our societies to see how effective it is. And all you got to do is look at some of the comments and the trolling that you get when you think a little bit outside the box. Divide and conquer is the motto, folks. And that is what is being done. And we have to put it all down. Like I said, it doesn't matter who came first. It doesn't matter what race, what color the skin was. It doesn't matter about any of it. I just want to find out what the truth is, and I have no stake in the outcome. I don't want any particular race to be anywhere. I don't want anyone to have come first. I don't care. I just want to know what happened. What got us into this psychopathic situation, and how do we get out of this psychopathic situation? The whole thing is going smart. The whole thing is going digital. Social crediting's coming online, and we're sitting here screaming at each other, and it's all such a play, and everybody has to put and realize that while we have all this focus, and while we still continue to have these belief systems and think we actually know what's going on, we're never going to find out what the truth is. And we have to be prepared to consider all options. And like I said, just the amount of vitriol that I've got for going down this rabbit hole and wanting to investigate the roots of the white race really shows me that there's something to this. Because you don't get the flack if you're not over the target. And it's the same with everything, folks. If you're told you can't look there, or you're attacked for looking there, then that's the place you should be looking. So there certainly is all sorts of stuff on the horizon. Everything really is kind of snowballing at the moment, folks. There's so much information to keep up with, and it's kind of difficult to get on top of it all. But we are doing it, and as I said, I'm feeling very inspired and very positive about the future. Even with all of the division that's happening, I see a bright future ahead if we maintain our focus and keep our energy levels high. It doesn't matter who built what, or who did this, or who did that. What matters is what got us into this psychopathic situation that we're in, and how to extricate ourselves from this situation, because we're all suffering under the yoke of this slavery system, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody. And we're not going to fix the slavery system by screaming at each other and pointing the finger at each other and blaming each other. And you've just got to look at how it was all run and who's been set up to take the fall and why they've been set up to take the fall and what the deeper play really is. Because it's all like a set of dominoes, folks. They plan all this out and then they set the wheels in motion and they make sure it goes the direction that they want to go. So you really got to look at how you've been played. We all have to look at how we've been played through all of this. We've got to put all our division down and pull our energy away from this system and start giving it to the people around us, because we are all in this situation together. And that is really the only way out of this system. The only way out is to realize the system is fiction and we don't have to do what these people say. And all of it has been a play. Divide and conquer. Play the people off against each other so that they will never organize against you. That's what they've done. And we've got to see this and we've got to put it all down. We really do.